You're watching the National Sports Podcast on YouTube.
Like that, a pitch wasn't even thrown. Blah, blah, blah.
Sucks last night.
I think it looks very odd because they went with the white pants and a blue helmet on it.
When I was 9 years old, I was 8, like just getting hit with the bat on this thing, that is kind of crazy.
Beginning of the season, I was a liability.
End of the season, you're a liability.
No.
Just wanted me to try out for the juniors tryouts, and sure enough, I was able to make their elite team, which is the second level junior team.
That's a cut.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
All right, welcome back to another National Sports Podcast. We are now live in person doing an interview. You guys have seen these two before on previous podcasts. This is Parker Peel, this is Deglan Gragan, and this is our in-person sit-down interview. First of all, guys, thanks for joining me. Taking some time out of your day to talk to our fans and our viewers about what it's like to be athletes, youth athletes, your favorite parts of your sports, and so on and so forth. So, Parker, let's just again welcome yourself to the show and talk to me a little bit about what you do as your sport and stuff like that.
Hello, I'm Parker. I play baseball mainly, and I play a little bit of basketball, and I spell.
Alright, so Deglan, piggyback off of what Parker did there.
I play baseball. I'm a first baseman and catcher. I play hockey. I play left defense.
So let's go to Deglan first. A multi-sport athlete. You have one game in the previous year, one game in the next part of the year. How do you balance playing two sports as well as, making sure you're at your top level of performance?
Well, usually hockey's more important than me, so if I have a baseball game or a hockey game on the same day, I'm choosing hockey. And then I guess I just get a lot of sleep, and yeah.
And, you talked about hockey, and, getting a lot of sleep is an important thing. What's your favorite part of the game, and how did you get into the game?
I got into the game, my dad. I just started skating when I was 2, and then I just learned from there. And then my favorite part of the game, obviously winning is a big part of it. My team won the championship a couple of years ago.
So Parker, to you now. Baseball. It's obviously, as far as I know you guys don't know, but it's your number one sport. It's basically your bread and butter, and just talk to me about how you developed such a love for the game.
So at a young age, I was met as watching all the MLB games, and I one day got signed up by my mother and soon developed a love for it.
And so you get in, you enjoy the game so much. What just gravitated you to that niche, and you were just like, wow, this is the game for me. This is the game that I want to play for the remainder of my youth career?
Well, I saw the big guys playing, and they were doing great, and wondering how they were so good at the game, and I wanted to do it myself and see if I could get to their level.
What position do you play now? What's that primary spot for you?
The center field and right field.
You talked about, what's that position for you that you just rather play all the time? You want to have, you just develop that skill for it.
Well, I like to consider myself fast, so that would play a big part in the outfield. And I just like it so much because as you grow up, there's going to be more balls hit into the outfield, and so you get more playing time out
a lot of people are always like, oh, I don't want to play the outfield at a young age because they're just, for some reason they're told that the outfield isn't the position, but as you get older, the outfield does grow into that. So we talked about hockey for you, talked about a little baseball there. You play baseball too, and it's your number 2, but it's still a sport that you play.
Yes.
We talked about his position. How did you grow a love for that game?
My mom just signed me up and I started playing.
So, question for both of you in both of these sports. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years with these sports? Do you see yourself developing into a player in maybe a high school team, maybe even going semi-pro? How do you see yourself, Parker, first, in 5 to 10 years?
In around 5 years, I'm going to be 18, so I'll be graduating. And I'm hoping to get into a good college and maybe play some college ball and then work my way to a career off of college.
And I know you're playing middle school baseball this year. That's kind of your first. Obviously, AAA is probably a little more competitive than middle school, but it's that first, playing for your school environment. How's it been so far for you, just going out there and just playing for your team, your school? Is it hit different for you, or is it just like another day out in the field?
Well, I mean, it's definitely way more competitive, as it's not just your friends going up against your friends in a town game. It's now you're going against people that you've played against over the years, that you've rivaled against, and that you've got big hatred for.
Right.
And so you want to win way, way, way more than you do in a Little League game.
Yeah, and I feel like that same thing for me in hockey. It's just like I developed such a, sometimes you play with these guys and then you're playing against them because they go to different schools on my AAA team. Same thing for you, Deglan. And you can pick either sport. You can give me a little mixture of both. 5 to 10 years, where do you see yourself going?
Baseball, I'll probably maybe stop that high school or middle school. But then hockey, I probably want to play that into college or high school.
Yeah, definitely. High school hockey, college hockey, that's always the goal. College baseball, high school baseball. What about for the short term? Where do you see yourself maybe in a couple months, maybe in a year? Start with that.
Well, for hockey, I'll be starting up again in probably like September. And then baseball already started. I'll probably be in the All-Stars this year. We'll probably try to get into the Little League World Series.
That is a goal right there. Imagine Little League World Series is always the goal there. Parker, to you now.
In a couple months, I can see myself still playing middle school baseball in a starting position.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing AAU.
Right.
So we'll be playing that against other teams and hopefully win some state championships.
What makes you a great athlete? What are the strengths that you have, that you possess, that just make you such a good athlete?
It's the mentality. You want to get better. You want to do better. You want to be the best. You've got to practice. And you've got to knock it down on yourself.
Which strengths do you believe you have that make you a good athlete, Devin?
I mean, I've been practicing since I was a little kid, and I guess going outside and doing physical activities helps, and having a lot of practice and patience to develop those skills plays a major part in being athletic.
Yeah. So I like this one because so many people that I know that aren't into sports, they always wonder, why do you care so much? It's just a game. Why do you care so much? It's just a game. And same thing when I'm watching it with people that just don't care so much. And the question I always get is, what makes you so passionate? What makes you so obsessed with sports? And I think it takes experience to play them, but my question to you both is, what makes you just so passionate to go out there and play week in and week out?
I mean, you want to win, you practice all year, and it has to pay off, so you have to.
It just makes you so passionate because you put in the work, the effort, the time to go out there and win, and that's what hits for you?
Mm-hmm.
Parker, to you now.
Well, when you don't practice, you're not going to do good. So when you don't do good, when you don't practice, you don't do good, and when you don't do good, you don't win. And winning is kind of boring, and it's not going to make you want to play. And so when you practice, you do good, and you win. Winning is fun, and that allows me to want to keep playing it and keep playing it because it's something I love.
What's your guys' just best experience? The best thing that's happened to you playing this sport? I know for me, I go back to so many things. I played a lot of sports, but I've kind of developed to that hockey now, and I just look back at some of the great things that happened, some of the great things that could happen, tournaments, stuff like that, championships. It all means so much to me, and that's why people think I'm crazy, because they're like, well, why do you care so much about sports? And it's those things. But to both of you now, like, what is that moment that just clicks to you and like, this is my favorite moment, this is the moment I will never forget that happened to me while being an athlete?
So, our town, at the end of the year, as 13-year-olds, once we're graduating and getting ready to move on to middle school and we're done with Little League, we have a voting on who the best player and teammate was, and I was voted, and it was called the Billy Smith Award. And so that meant a lot to me. It just showed me that many people liked me as a teammate and a person when playing baseball with them.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that, and obviously that's an award that just is like, it's sometimes even better than winning the championships because it just shows that how much the players respect you as an athlete, and they show that. Deglan, you were one of the people that actually voted on Parker's award, and I'm going to get to you in a second, but talk to me, like, what was this decision-making process when you went through that? Was there any? Was it just like, you know what, hey, you know what, Parker's the guy?
Well, when we were on the bases and Parker was pitching, he always made like nice comments and was kind. He didn't get frustrated or mad at anybody, and he always kept his cool.
Yeah. And what was that moment for you? That just clicks in your mind as that's the number one moment.
I don't know. There's a lot of them. I mean, he was never mean. He just kind of just always tried to pick people up. I don't know. There's not really any specific moments.
Then for you now, what is it? Your favorite moment out of playing hockey or baseball that you just, you know what I mean, like that moment for you?
Probably when my team won our championship. I mean, it was tied 1-1 in the third period. We went to overtime, and my friend just scored a goal and we won. And it was just the best moment. We worked all year for it, so it felt good.
Athlete, coach, is there anybody you guys just look up to? And you're like, that's the guy I want to be like, or that's the guy that just keeps driving me. I'll start with Deglan this time.
I mean, Kobe Bryant, he worked really hard. He got up early in the morning to work out, and he was a very successful player. And rest in peace.
It's gonna have to be my father, because at a young age he said that at my age he had a six-pack and was jacked, and so he said, if you want to be a great player like me, you're gonna have to do that. So every morning I wake up, I work out, I go to school, try my best, because I'm trying to get into the best high school that I could so it can increase my chances at college baseball. And he just pushed me to get better, do my best, and never get mad when I'm down on my teammates or someone else and myself. So he always made me the best person I could be.
That's great. If I look at myself, and to be honest, there's a couple coaches out there that I have looked up to, but I agree, it comes to the family side. Those are the people that are up every day, are pushing you every day, and looking out for you. So I agree with that one. And Deglan as well. Those guys out there, there's a lot of celebrities out there that will just be like, put on a face, but I believe that there's athletes out there that aren't like that. There's off-ice, off-field training that goes into every sport, and we're all of us are entering that life, that path of, all right, we might need to consider working out. We might need to consider, looking at plays, focusing on strength, maybe shooting a couple pucks. How do you guys advantage that? Do you go out there? Do you practice, do stuff? I know you talked about working out and stuff, so maybe piggyback on that a little bit.
So every Monday to Friday, I would wake up at 5. I will work out until 6. So I'll do chest on Monday, and then do some biceps and some back on Tuesday, and then Wednesday would be legs and shoulders, and then I'll throw in some abs after 40 minutes of the main stuff, and then I'll shower, go to school, and after school I'll come home and hit off the tee, throw the ball, and build some good habits.
For hockey, I shoot pucks a lot. In baseball, I have a batting cage in my backyard, so me and my friends sometimes go in my backyard and hit balls.
I got one for those for Christmas.
Yeah. All right, I want to get now a little negative, a little bit. That time you were out there and you had your worst time, your worst experience. I want you to describe to me your worst experience that you can remember, if you can, and what did you learn from it? How did you learn from it?
It was actually probably like a month or 2 ago. In hockey, we do this thing called parity. It's to get into a league. You have to play. It's basically like a tournament. My team, we didn't do good enough to get into the league at first. They were only accepting 10 teams, but then the next day they changed it so it was 12 teams. So then we did get in, but that taught me to work hard, and everything's not guaranteed.
Parker.
Maybe 2 years ago, I was put on a team that was not good. And so me and another guy were carrying this team, and we just didn't win a single game. We were losing and losing, and so I got out of that ditch by deciding that I'm done with this team. I'm trying to get my best of the best I could do, and so I left, and now I'm on the best team that I could think of. So it had to be
a negative right to a positive. That is obviously good. Guys, I'm going to give you 2 more questions here and we'll wrap this up. I want to know, when you guys go in to a room and you meet a coach for the first time, I want to know, like, what are the qualities you look in a coach? If you do look for qualities in a coach, and is there anything you learned from a guy? And you're like, this guy taught me something that I'm going to take the rest of my life. It might not even have to be a coach. It might be something you saw or you heard from somebody in what you do.
I mean, for qualities I look in a coach, if they're willing to put in a lot of time to teach me or other people on my team how to do something, and if they're like kind and like emotionally gonna pick you up so you have a good mood while you're playing a game or a practice. So that's
Is there any piece of advice a coach ever gave you and maybe you taken on?
no, they just teach me what to like do.
Yeah. Parker, have you got anything?
something I'm not looking for in a coach would be if he's a father and his son is on the team, he only plays his son and he doesn't give the better player a chance.
So yeah, obviously, I look at that too. You know, a coach who, you know, like a dad coach, I don't mind. It's just when they only favor that one guy. I agree with that. Have you ever learned anything like advice-wise?
My dad would help coach the main coach, so he was the assistant coach.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, he would tell me that I needed to be the best I wanted to be, so I need to practice.
All right, finally, maybe a little fun one here. What do you guys prefer? You prefer the pre-game environment, the post-game environment, the in-game environment, or just like your routines?
I prefer, it depends on if we win or lose. If it's post-game and we win, everybody's really happy and they're partying. Pre-game, sometimes people can be a little serious and then everybody's kind of quiet and we're just trying to get hyped up for the game.
Right.
In-game, it's really serious unless you're up big. If you're up a lot, then it can be a little more fun and you can shake things up.
Yeah, that's fun.
My favorite one is probably post-game when we win.
I agree. Post-game, that's just a fun environment. Like we just play, I know a lot of my team was like, when you win, we would play Party in the USA as our victory song, and we'd just be rolling around. And post-game environments are fun. I'll go to Parker here. What's yours? Favorite environment?
Pre-game. Because like you're there, you've trained for this moment. This is where it all starts, and you're getting hyped and ready for your best chance at this game. So you gotta get ready.
I agree. I'm on the toss-up because I agree. The pre-game, just that feeling you get in your body. I don't know if you guys experience this sometimes. Like, it's just an important game. This is a game you know you're about to go out and do, and I just get that maybe a little twist in your stomach. It's not nerves. It's just like that feeling you get sometimes before a game and post-game, that victory feeling. But I'm on the fence of which one I enjoy most. All right, guys, you've been an awesome guest every time we had you on. This was a great interview.
Did you ask that kid yet? What his favorite
I did. Did I?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. I'm just making. Deglan, thank you. You guys are just great guests every time. We'll probably have you on one more other time. Parker Peel, Deglan Great, and I'm Cameron Simpson. Thanks for the great interview, boys.
Deglan Great, signing off.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.